Hello and welcome to How Not to Draft. Something a little bit different for you today. We're hitting up some Return to Ravnica Sealed. This is a between 6 and 9 rounds. I haven't actually checked the numbers yet. Sealed event, something a little bit different. Cube went away. Gate crash, miles away at this point. We're just seeing the earliest spoilers. 3 mind drops, really? First thing we're going to do here is pile by rarity. See what sweet mythics we haven't opened. Oh, there is a detention sphere though. It's fun times. There's also a hypersonic dragon, so we could go some sort of Izzet Azorius, splash one of those. Mana Bloom, there's Abrupt Decay if we end up kind of Golgari or Jund, will be a fine removal spell. And Jared's Orders, which can do something if we have like a bomb creature, but it doesn't look like it based on these. Then we've got a Selesnya Keyrune. Love to be a Selesnya deck. An Azorius Keyrune, which might help with the mana on this build we were considering a moment ago. Ooh, Street Spasm's a nice one. Nice little uncommon removal spell there. Arrest, same. So Street Spasm and Arrest, probably putting Arrest to go with the Detention Sphere, maybe splash the Hypersonic Dragon and the Street Spasm. That's what I'm looking at now, though obviously... Ooh, and a Lev Sky Knight. Yeah, Azorius is looking good based on that alone, but let's check out the colours. Not by converted mana cost. Whoa. That's not what I want to do at all. So, immediately looking at just depth of monocolor, white is our longest, and then red is Annihilating Fire, which I probably won't be able to use. So, we've got Tristani's Judgment, Eyes in the Skies, I guess, Armory Guard, ooh, Sunspear Griffin, double Cellar of Songbirds. I'm actually going to pull down the Phantom General just because we've got 2 Cellar of Songbirds now. Actually, quite a lot of token making there. Soultide's playable, I guess. Keening Apparition, ooh, double Azorius Arrester, and some Trained Caracals and a Serial Armor. Fairy Imposter, which will go well with those double Arresters that I've got. Couple of Inspirations. Doorkeeper, not as good in Sealed as he is in Draft, because people just have bigger creatures. Couple of Rune Wings. Ooh, a couple of Void Wielders. This is looking like a pretty good Azorius deck. And an Asperius Skywatch. Black, I'm going to ignore. We've got a marginal playable, 2 more quite good playables, and playable in the right deck, but kind of no bombs, nothing insane. Quick look over to our multicolour in black. We've got a Scorpion, the Jared's Orders, the Abrupt Decay, which is a shame to lose, but I suppose we do have a Crozon and a Guild Mage, and a Slitherhead. A double Axebane Guardian. I'm still going to leave all these black cards up there. Then red, we've got Street Spasm, Eternal Crash is playable, Survey the Wreckage isn't playable, Treasure's Instinct is playable in the right deck, Igniting Fire, Racketeer, I guess. Ooh, double Lobber Crew. And triple Pursuit of Flight. We do have 1 Frostborn Weird. I'm going to pull down one of those Pursuit of Flight so I remember I have them. And then green offers us... I'll claim one of the Hornclaw's chances playable. Cause of Might's good. X-Men Guardian helps us splash things. Gatekeeper Vine helps us splash things, but really not seeing the green. And then Selesnya, we've got Courser's Accord, Common Bond, and Centaur Healer, which are all good, fine playables. So actually we could maybe build a Selesnya deck from this, and then Azorius we've got the Sky Knight, the Detention Sphere, and a lovely little Dramatic Rescue. And then also potentially Azorius we've got Frostborn Weird. And then the only real Izzet card, Hypersonic Dragon. And then Rakdos and Golgari I've kind of been through, we don't have much besides a Guild Mage, a Scorpion, and Orders, but because black is so weak over here, and green isn't particularly strong, going Golgari for just a few Grizzly Salvages. Golgari Charm? That's most wonderful creature, yeah. And then in Keyrunes, as suggested, we've got Selesnya Keyrune and Azorius Keyrune, which we want to play. Ooh, and an Izzet Guildgate. Not a lot of non-basics, but the Izzet Guildgate will again help with that Hypersonic Dragon Street Spasm Splash. So we've built the deck I've kind of been talking about here. Just cancel our green, most of our red, and see what this deck would look like. I'm not 100% that this is the build we're going to go with. I am intrigued by a kind of Selesnya build, and also a little bit by those Lobber Crews, by going kind of a pure Izzet. We do have the Annihilating Fire to help support that in red. But this deck looks fairly... Sorcerer's Arresters are a bit beat down for Sealed, but pile that by converted mana cost. Put in a Keyrune. Believe that's all the cards I want to play in this deck. Don't want to play Conjured Currency. Don't want to play Fall of the Gavel or Civic Saber, really. So no, this is what we're looking at. Still got 14 minutes, so Fairy Imposter should be pretty good in this deck. It should reliably be able to come down on turn 3 with 4 2-drops. And because 2 of those 2-drops are arresters, that really helps. It makes it into an actual value spell as well as just a 3-mana 2-1 flyer. The Sellers of Songbirds are looking a little awkward. I've got 1 Trostani's Judgment, but that's really it. And actually, in terms of populate effects, I'm pretty low on the ground in the entire sealed pool. Just looking at my green here, there's like a Druid's Deliverance, but I haven't got any Rootborn defenses or anything. Street Spasm, we'll call a spell around there. Pick a number out of the air. Eyes in the Skies is a creature. So it's possible I play the Sellers of Songbirds and then I play the Phantom General to go with them. Though it's possible I really don't need to, because I've got kind of Rune Wing and got a good 4-drop, and then Hypersonic Dragon has a good 5-drop. Do I have any sorceries I want to cast off the dragon? You don't need any, by the way. No, I don't. So Hypersonic Dragon is literally just a 4/4 hasty flyer for 5. Any sorceries I would play if they were instant speed? No, there's just nothing up there. This is 28, I need to find 5 cuts. Looking right now at Frostborn Weird. It's going to be playable off my red sources, of which... how many red sources do I want in this deck? I mean, it's 2 red mana, I'd probably have it and a Guild Gate. Didn't I have another way to splash somewhere? I'm sure there was another... No, it was just cards I wanted to splash. There were no easy ways to splash, just the single Guild Gate. Oh yeah, there was some Axebane Guardian. So then, the Void Wielders almost certainly stay. The Armory Guard, I've got 1 Guild Gate to go with that, but it kind of it shuts down the board quite well. So I'm feeling now like I take out the Sellers of Songbirds, because they're not nearly as good as the Lev Sky Knight or the Sunspire Griffin, and the Phantom General, because now I don't have nearly enough tokens to go with it. Is it possible Sunspire Griffin is awkward on the mana? It is possible, but it's also so good. And it's my only double single colour. I mean, Frostborn Weird's double blue on turn 2, but it can be paid with the red. We'll probably play 1, maybe 2 mountains. So, maybe 2 with the key rune. So, still looking for 2 cuts here. Inspiration I like. Is it worth having 2 of them? It combos quite well with Eyes in the Skies, because you can leave up Eyes in the Skies if they attack, and then Inspiration if they don't. Similarly, leaving up Dramatic Rescue and such. In terms of removal, I've got an Arrest, a Detention Sphere, a Street Spasm, and a Trostani's Judgment, which isn't a creature. Almost certainly won't be making a creature most of the time. I've got 1 Security Blockade and 1 Eyes in the Skies in terms of token makers now. It's possible Fairy Imposter doesn't go so well with the token makers? Oh, but it goes well with Void Wielder and a Spurious Skywatch as well. Yes, Fairy Imposter's so staying. So I don't think I need to run Soul Tithe in this deck. Soul Tithe is kind of a last-ditch removal spell. And while I've actually come a long way on Soul Tithe, I actually think it's quite playable now. I'd much rather have Dramatic Rescue, which is just a really solid bounce spell, makes it so hard for them to race, and all the rest of it. So that's 24. So we'll be after 1 more cut from this deck, which isn't actually immediately obvious. I mean, on the chopping block are Armory Guard, Frostborn Weird. That's probably it. I mean, could you cut... I mean, Street Spasm doesn't ever cost double red, does it? Oh, it does. It would actually cost double red to overload? I thought this was like Bonfire and it costs single red. It's possible I don't run Street Spasm? I do want to splash. I mean, without Street Spasm I've only got the 3 removal spells. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half. Arrest. Detain, sorry. Things to do, plus 2 Void Wielders. Actually not a bad quantity of removal. 2 Inspirations help me find it. Dramatic Rescue is bounce. Street Spasm is really... I mean, just playing Street Spasm as an X damage to target creature is playing it as a Heat Ray. Isn't actually the end of the world. I mean... certainly I don't want to be playing more red sources. So I think I'm just going to cut the Armory Guard here. I think Void Wielder does the spot of high defense quite well.